Hello and welcome to Mr. Timeline Reviews Twisted Metal. So Twisted Metal is a Peacock original series adapted from the popular Sony IP of the same name, a game series that featured iconic and crazy characters driving vehicles that are armed to the teeth. This series is very popular among gamers, and the television adaptation doesn't disappoint. But today we're going to be talking about the story, the characters, and my general thoughts on the TV series. So join me as we explore Twisted Metal.
Years ago, the world fell to shit. Cities put up walls to protect themselves and threw the criminals out so they could fight over what was left. But there are humble motherfuckers like me delivering cargo from one walled city to another. And that's where the cars and guns come in. Give me the package note, man! So if I'm here, then the exit is... Oh, they have a Foot Locker. Oh, son of a...
Welcome to New San Francisco. I want to hire you. Pick up a package, bring it back. I can make your every wish come true. So, John, what do you wish for?
Toilet paper. 2-ply.
I think I can do better.
3-ply? All right, Evelyn, let's deliver this package. It's rude not to introduce yourself before pulling a gun on someone. Oh, this is rude.
If you put the gun down, I'll drop you off as close as I can to where you're going.
She's quiet. She don't talk
Motherfucker, eat shit.
much.
You have no idea what's out east.
Even the people trying to bring the law back are dangerous.
This is our land. These are our roads. And they're gonna have to go through Vegas. We both know who rules Vegas, John. Hi, everybody.
I've never seen anyone cut off a human head and catch it as good as that.
This is gonna be fun. Peekaboo.
This never happened to me before. Really? Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh my god, it's DMV.
What's down the red line? No, please! Cool. Screams.
So let's start with the story. The story centers around a milkman named John Doe. Milkmen are couriers who travel between cities delivering packages. John Doe is played by Anthony Mackie, well known as the Falcon and the new Captain America from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mackie is joined in his journey by characters by the name of Quiet, played by Stephanie Beatrice, who many fans know her from series such as Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Also, we have Thomas Hayden Church as the fan favorite character Agent Stone, and Samoa Joe and Will Arnett doing double duty portraying the villainous Sweet Tooth, who is a highlight of the series. But they are all traveling trying to catch John Doe and his package that he's taking to from Chicago to New San Francisco. He, of course, has been hired by Neve Campbell's mysterious Raven. So what can we say about the story? Well, the story itself is a little bit thin in terms of a good, entertaining event, but that's not the point. The point is the crazy collection of characters, the explosions, and general mayhem of a adaptation of Twisted Metal. Next, we're going to talk about the characters. Twisted Metal has no limit on how many great characters appear in this series, either as part of the main cast or as side characters that appear briefly in the story. So we're going to talk about some of them, and many of them are great interpretations of the characters. There are a few that are not as good, but overall it's a fun list of characters. So first of all, we're going to talk about Anthony Mackie as John Doe. Anthony Mackie brings a lot of humor and a lot of sincerity to the character and to the part. But that's to be expected with the man who is currently the Captain America of the MCU going forward. Mackie has a great time doing this role. He's having fun. It works on so many levels. Stephanie Beatrice, who I'm not too familiar with because I'm not a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but she does a fantastic job with this acidic attitude. Like, there's a tension there. Like, she's on the verge of just beating the hell out of someone, which she does in a few scenes. But she works really well with Anthony Mackie. They have a great chemistry, and they kind of banter at each other. So that's a lot of the fun. Also, a lot of the fun is the two villainous characters, Agent Stone, played brilliantly by Thomas Hayden Church, who a lot of newer fans know him primarily for the role of the Sandman in the Spider-Man films. This role, he is having a ball playing villain. He's over the top, very aggressive. He's like a action movie character on steroids, and that's great. That works so well for the character. And there's a running joke about he knows what siblings are, even though people keep pointing out that that's my sister or that's my brother. It works really well. Also, one of the highlights of the film is Sweet Tooth. I cannot say enough about Sweet Tooth, played physically by Samoa Joe, the professional wrestler, and voiced by Will Arnett. Both work really well together. The voice matches the performance and music.
She had dumps like a truck. That's like what? All night long.
Let me see that thong.
Like it when the beat go.
Da-da-da-da.
Baby, let your booty go.
Da-da-da-da.
Girl, you want to show?
Da-da-da-da.
The thong. Do you love the silver hair god? Don't lie to me.
Yeah, man. Look, I listened to Unleash the Dragon so many times.
It's just brilliantly done. The insanity of Sweet Tooth is on full display, and it's a lot of fun watching his scenes with other characters. Also, there's a lot of mystery around Neve Campbell's character, who surprised me as a role, because I've been a fan of Neve Campbell's for many, many, many years, ever since the 90s when I watched Scream. So in this, she is having a fun time playing this villainous role. She has really good chemistry again with Anthony Mackie, and you can see that in the performance. Also, special shout out to the bar scene about midway through the series and the performance of the various actors playing very well-known original Twisted Metal characters from the very first Twisted Metal game. You have the Pizza Boy, Mr. Smash. All these great characters make an appearance in the story. Where the characters fall flat is with characters such as the Preacher, played by Where the story falls flat character-wise is Jason Mantzoukas as the Preacher. While the idea of the Preacher character is fun, and they do a very decent job with it, the acting from Mantzoukas is not quite where it needs to be. He goes way beyond over the top, to a point where it immediately takes me out of the film, or out of the series. But other than that, the Preacher character is a strong character from the games, and I think that overall, he could have been done better. Also, one other strong character is, of course, Neve Campbell's performance as the mysterious and villainous Raven. Now, this is not a typical role I've seen Neve Campbell play. I've been following Neve Campbell since the 1990s when she was in Party of Five, Scream, and other projects like that. This is not the standard film or television project you would imagine Neve Campbell would be in, but she does a fantastic job as well. But that being said, the characters are absolutely fantastic, very well done, and I look forward to seeing what they do with the season 2 if they do greenlight a season 2. So, in conclusion to my review, what do I think about the Twisted Metal series? Well, the Twisted Metal TV series was a fantastic adaptation and interpretation of the Twisted Metal story. They do a lot to set up the events that would actually be more in line with the actual game, and spend this whole season building up the world of Twisted Metal. Also, the acting is fantastic. The character interpretations are pretty good, minus a few weak areas. The final climactic battle scene in the series is one of the best I've seen. It is like you're watching an actual gameplay session of the old Twisted Metal games. The story's a little thin, but overall you don't watch Twisted Metal for the story. You watch it for the over-the-top action, the twisted comedy, twisted dark comedy, and the over-the-top characters. Do I recommend this series? Absolutely, especially if you're a fan of the games. I know several people online have done reviews where they despise the show. They complain about everything in it. But as a fan of over-the-top action and over-the-top storytelling, this is by far the best series I've seen. And it gives a good indication of what it's going to be like when shows coming up such as Fallout and other video game inspired television shows. So if you want a good time, you want to just sit back and enjoy some over-the-top action, please check out Twisted Metal. Now bear in mind, Twisted Metal is not for younger viewers. It's over-the-top violent, over-the-top foul language, over-the-top adult situations. So bear that in mind. But otherwise, have fun, enjoy it, turn off your brain for a little while, and just watch complete chaos unfold. I have been Joseph, and this is Mr. Timeline's Reviews. We look forward to seeing you again. Stay safe.